Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. This is the Road to Nationals Week 2 roundup, the meta report, and I've been joined by Hamish. Hi, guys.
Yo, dude, how are you? I feel it's a pleasure to be back again. I feel that I love your Road to Nationals meta reports. I think it's one of the most useful pieces of information for the UK fab scene, genuinely across the globe, and anyone in the UK to find out what the UK scene is doing in general for the Road to Nationals. It's really exciting. It's really cool.
It's certainly our most popular viewership, that's for sure. We had over 1,000 views for week 1, so thank you to everyone who's viewed last week's. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. I think it was like 13 extra subscribers after last week, so
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Let's, without further ado, let's get cracking. Let's do that. So it is sponsored by Silver Palms. Hopefully, everybody who went to the calling went to see Silver Palms and picked up some singles, and you can see them next at Battle Hardened Metropole Ruhr on June 2nd to 4th. So go and say hello to Mark Quarmby, Oliver Wing, and Aaron Parsons, and pick up your much needed singles. The prize draw that we have for this month, which ends on the 4th of June, which will be I'll draw it live on the last recording of the Road to Nationals. So it's £5 entry. Every entry I receive, you will get one ticket into the prize draw for this Lexi Light 'em Up playmat. You can buy multiple entries if you like, and if you are a Patreon, then you get one free entry into this prize draw. So it's well worth entering. So let's get on with the with Ireland. We're at Gathering in Limerick, so all the way down on the southwest of Ireland. Some of the players had to take a 5-hour trip just to get there. So a really good turnout. This is the first time they've done any sort of flesh and blood tournament.
Awesome.
So I think it's really good. Now they're covering the southwest of Ireland, and let's see what happens. Okay, so 2 Dash, 2 Viserai, an Azuri, a Levia. A Levia rises its head.
Bloody hell.
And this is the top 4. So we got Peter Smith on Dash, Justin Walsh on Dromai, Cole Boyle on Lexi, and Lorenzo Patron on Viserai.
Good man. I mean, I'm just being a bit biased here, but seeing a Viserai get into the top 4, amazing. What's the final?
The final is Dash versus Viserai.
Okay, well, I don't know how this may pan out. It could go either way, depending on what the Dash players set up. But, it wouldn't be a Viserai man if I didn't put my money on it. So I'm just going to throw it on Viserai.
You are correct.
Yes!
Now, Lorenzo, he was so excited to actually take part in this tournament. He actually left a day early. So he did a 10-hour round trip for nothing.
Wow.
And then he had to go the next day. That was dedication for you. He was desperate to win it, and win it he did. So well done, Lorenzo. Fantastic win for you.
Amazing.
Let's see how the Irish meta map looks. There we go. There's Limerick.
Runeblade Island.
It is Runeblade heavy.
Yeah.
Will we see Belfast, 7th Dimension, give us a different result, or will Runeblade claim Ireland as its own? So back to England. Alpha Games, 23 players, 15 heroes. This was, I think it's the biggest tournament of the weekend. Bit of a Dromai likes Alpha Games. Rhinar, I would have thought that was Daniel Scupham, as he does well with Rhinar down there. You went to this one, Hamish. So how was it?
I sure did. I was one of the Viserais, and it was a pretty interesting field. I wasn't really quite sure how it was going to pan out. Seeing a low number of Alderman Lexis brought joy to my heart.
And another
but
Levia.
Unfortunately, during my Swiss rounds, I did play both of those Lexis. Anyway, what does the top 4 look like?
So the top 4 is
Hey.
So Matthew Smith, as soon as you told me he won, sorry, he did. As soon as you told me he got into the top 4, I was like, "Who? Doctor Who?" So I put the Doctor there for Matthew Smith. Zhang Nguyen on Oldham, Dimitri Cesar, so fellow Manascrew player with Yuzuri, and oh, look at that, Hamish with Viserai.
I was looking forward to seeing this. I was like, I can put my name in this video and I can talk about me. No, so I can tell you exactly how it went down. So if you want me to, if you don't mind, I mean, we can move.
Take it away.
I played up against Zhang and I forgot to put Tunic in, so I lost. it was not going to go down well. But we move over to the final.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to move over to the final.
I have. There we go.
So there we go. So Dimitri he absolutely fatigued out the Katsu. So he basically just banished all the cards, and Katsu was doing a lot of the work for him by discarding his own cards and banishing cards. He was just doing a lot of the milling his own deck, kind of slightly dashish. You know what I mean? Where they're just like, I've got to push through, so I've got to get rid of cards to push through, and plus he was also getting rid of the cards. So he won on that. So yeah, it's Zhang and Dimitri. And the winner of that it is pretty much, it was Oldham. It was Oldham. So he was quite close actually, because those two played in the Swiss rounds. And Dimitri said it wasn't even close. He got absolutely smashed. But this one, it was more on the single digit side of things, but eventually Zhang just smashed it out and just did a huge big turn, and that was the end.
Nice. I think it's about Zhang was playing Dromai, so he switched to Oldham for this season, but he certainly was doing good results with Dromai before. So congratulations to Zhang.
Anathos with with Van Brace is a thing, but no longer, because I mean, I will probably save this to the end if nobody knows, but I think everyone does know what's happened to Oldham.
They should know.
Zhang's managed to get his name on the Roll of Honor when they eventually call it out.
Yeah, I think it's like Independence Day in it. That's when the new announcement should come out. So that's that's the final date that you could possibly take Oldham into a tournament. So yeah, play him in the next few weeks, because you ain't going to play him until sort of like Living Legend format comes out. That's for sure.
And get your name on the Roll of Honor.
Okay, let's go over to Manaleak. I went down there to record. So 3 Katsu, 3 Lexi, 2 Azalea, so quite a few Rangers. Katsu did really well last week. He's being represented as again. Viserai, 2 more Viserai. Viserai's coming out of the woodwork, isn't it? It's just like, oh my God, they're coming out to play. Only 1 Dromai. I think sort of like Dromai's not being taken because ninjas are coming out, and she doesn't do very well into that. So 18 players, 10 heroes, and it looks like this into the qualifiers. So Callum Elcock on Azalea, Darren Hazelden on Lexi. He's playing Shamir's list that Shamir got to the finals last week. Paul Wright on Lexi, and Johnny Chapman on Azuri. So this is practically Johnny Chapman's last event in the UK. His visa's come through, and he's going to be heading off to Malta in the next couple of days.
Awesome.
So it was really nice to see Johnny. He's always got a big smile on his face.
Yeah, a lovely dude.
Yeah, so, and he makes it into the final. Johnny Chapman on Azuri versus Darren Hazelden on Lexi.
I do know the result of this, and it doesn't surprise me really, because the Azuri matchup into Rangers is generally quite a positive one. And Darren's one of our Push the Point patrons, so he spelled out exactly what went down. So well done, Johnny Chapman, for taking the win.
Indeed. Johnny took the win indeed. And he is going to be coming back for the UK Nationals. So he's claimed the spot and he's coming back. So he's going to be the best player in Malta, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So on to, I've put Fire and Dice games here, but it's
this is the biggest event.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, sorry. So this is Fire and Dice Games, but it's also known as Rising Phoenix. I think they're going through a name change, but I couldn't find their logo, so I've gone back to Fire and Dice. So 29 players, 15 heroes. Katsu is the top hero pick again. 3 Dromai this time, so I feel a bit sorry for the Dromai players. So, but the Rangers are still, the Rangers are still coming out to play. 3 Lexi and two Azalea.
One Viscerai as well. Ooh.
And a Riptide.
They're everywhere. And a Riptide.
Yeah.
Even cooler. Even cooler. So what's the top 4 look like?
The top 4 is Jude Fisher on Dromite, Imad Kashi on Katsu, Kevin Appleby on Lexi, and Thomas Farrow on Lexi.
Okay, so is this did Jude play up against Imad? We're not sure.
No, I think it's a double. No. I think it's a double Lexi final.
I wouldn't. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, it's interesting. So I thought if Dromite into Lexi is usually all right for Dromite. I know that Lexi can pull it out, so they obviously did. So Lexi has won.
Yeah.
Which player? I just we'll go for Kevin. I like the surname Appleby. No, okay,
Thomas.
Fair enough. Sorry, Thomas. Well done.
So well done, Thomas. You got to the finals in last season's RTNs, and you've done one better this season, and you've taken it. You've taken the win. So fantastic. It's
awesome.
Only the 4 games this week because obviously the call-in. So a slight less representation of players. There's only 80 players that took part this week. But like I said, everyone was heading over to sort of like Belgium and taking part there as well. Okay, so this is how Scotland lines up at the minute. Andrew Rayner with Lexi winning it in Dundee at Highlander Games.
Yeah.
We have 2 now for the north of England. We have Lila Green with Katsu in Leeds, and I've put Rising Phoenix Games there in Middlesbrough for Thomas Farrow with Lexi.
Awesome.
We have the middle of England. Click it right. So now it's filling up. We didn't have any there last week. So we've got Manaleak, Birmingham, Johnny Chapman, Azuri, and Alpha Games in Stanton with Zhang Nguyen on Oldham. So well done.
Well done.
Going to the south, we've only got sort of like Tom Evans in Southampton, board in the city. That was last week's. I've remembered to put your name on this time, Tom. So, I corrected that mistake. And then we go into London. We have Jacob Clements on Oldham at Rule 0. And the 2 other locations are going to be covered by Push to Point. One is this Saturday coming, which is a draft.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at the qualifying heroes for week 2 and let's see how they did. So Lexi has done so well this week, 55% conversion rate into qualifications. So she's absolutely dominating the other heroes to get in there. Not quite dominating all of them because obviously Oldham's got a 50% record.
Yeah, his attendance is low, but it's one of those interesting things where actually I wonder how much the calling is skewed the Lexi Oldham, like the players you would have seen showing up into an RTM with those heroes. Because actually they left for this week and then it was just everyone else that wanted to, it's one of those curious things of how much did the calling potentially make the percentages of this go the way they have. But
yeah, totally. But we haven't seen Oldham has not been massively represented last week either. He seems to be a hero that everybody's like played so often. Like the top players have really played him. Like you look at Francesco. He's playing Azuri.
Well, he's moved over to Azuri,
exactly. So they kind of like just gone. I've played him for 2 years. I'm going to try my hand at something else. So that's that is a knock-on effect to how many Oldham we've had.
Well, I know that a lot of the for Francesco, when I did a deck tech with him, and why did he take up Azuri? It's because when they lost Winter's Wear and they lost a little bit of that edge that he could be aggressive. There was and I think the Anavos build probably switched that up quite a lot. But beforehand, it felt very much like we have to be this super hyper defensive one that doesn't really do much and just tries to fatigue everyone out. So a lot of those disenfranchised Oldham players that didn't like that sort of play style found their new home in. Zuri has this sneaky guardian feel about it. Do you know what I mean? Where they're very slow and methodical, but have a few tricks, and it's quite, it's quite an exciting hero, and it can sort of almost do the same sort of things that Bravo and Oldham try and do, is just remove these threats and slowly take them down.
Yeah, I was talking to Oliver from he's a player from Underworld Games. he primarily plays Dory, but he switched to Azuri, and he finds the play style very similar because it has got that bluff. You know what I mean? Are you going to let this, small stealth attack hit and I hit you with the razor's edge, or am I going to come in with something else? And I'm going to hit you with a big attack. So, it suits the people who like Dory as well. She's in a really good spot. 2 qualifications, 28% conversion rate. The same as Viserai. Oh my god!
I know. Viserai winning brings joy to my heart. I do think this meta is like really rough for him in general. He hasn't changed vastly. I know that the cash-in has sort of ramped up his ability to push into those big numbers to get those huge turns. Turns out Mordred and Revel are still like very, very good and playing skies into attack. It's when 50% of your deck does nothing, you need to have something that's going to push over in mega damage levels. And when Viserai does Viserai things, what can you do? What can you do?
That's why they had to tone him down a bit. But
oh god, yeah. If he had that Bloodchief Skeleton, he would have been gone a very long time ago.
Yeah, but Dromai didn't really get anywhere last week. She picked up two qualifications this week. Her conversion rate was so poor last week. Okay, so let's look at winning heroes for this week. Okay, so obviously Oldham's 50% win, Azuri's 14, same as Viserai, and Lexi's conversion rate is slightly lower. She got into qualifications, but she only picked up 1 win out of the 5. So not too bad. I have totaled everything up, so we've got a running total of everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the heroes so far who's qualified. So we've had 10 qualifications from Lexi, 26% conversion rate. So
I think Viserai is the one that's the anomaly here.
Yeah,
for sure.
But we talked about these other 3 sort of like last week: Lexi, Azuri, and Katsu. I mean, Azuri and Katsu were by far the winners last week on their conversion rates, and they're still pulling in good numbers. They've got good matchups into Lexi. Katsu maybe not. If he goes second, he's got more of a better chance. But Azuri, definitely's got a good matchup into her.
It's clear that Lexi is definitely the hero that if you want to get that qualifying side of things, it's definitely the hero that's going to help you potentially get to the qualifying stages. But I don't know if you've done a total number on the wins.
Yeah, of course I have. I was thorough.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, that for the amount of like people that are getting in, the win side of things is it's doing okay, but not. I think she's as a proactive hero that's pushing a lot of damage. She's not going to be the one that's going to win it, but she's probably the best hero that's going to get you into the qualifiers. And it's
definitely. You got to remember, one of the wins by Lexi was because all 4 made it into the qualifiers, so she didn't really have any other hero to compete against her to really show what a bad matchup she could have. But yeah, she's Oldham's the real winner here. I mean, no one's really taking him, and he's not really represented, and he's still pulling out the results. They might have taken away his equipment suite ever so slightly, but he's still showing he's a flipping strong hero.
But not well. You've got 2 more weeks left because it doesn't matter because the old boy has finally made it. He's out of here. We don't have to worry about him now. And I think that's going to be huge because I think for every new hero that would have came up in the Dusk Till Dawn set, and even between those phases as well, he would have been a hero that you would have to consider. You always have to consider, I can play into this, and then, Oldham. How do I beat Oldham? Is always the question, and every hero, how do you beat Oldham? Yeah. But no longer.
But we might see something completely different next week. You're going to see heroes that prey on Lexi, to try and pick up that qualifying suite. Who's to say Icelander might poke her head up? There was a couple of players that played Icelander this week. The only hero that wasn't played this week was Kano.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. So, yeah. I mean, that doesn't surprise me either too much because I think Kano is one of those, it's a bit of a big combo hero. And I think people just you got to have to be some hard committing on that one, and just a bit of praying no one's packing too much Oasis respite. But no, this is really cool. Really, really absolutely awesome meta to see.
Right, okay, so let's go into who's qualified. So this is everyone who's qualified so far for Ireland. So well done, everyone.
Well done.
Yours is on the 2nd of September, 32 players. This is everybody who is qualified for UK. There are no duplicates at the minute. So they are all sort of like in. So yeah, the duplicates need to come in to give everybody else with a lower XP a chance to to get in. There is one saving grace, because last week there was a chap from Portugal that nabbed one of our places. So thanks to him, there's an extra space.
I will say as well though that I don't believe at the minute there's a lot of people on the high end of the XP side of things that have got the top 4. So last year it was very weird where, well, it wasn't very weird, but everyone who was high up on the leaderboard was getting top 4s. So it didn't really matter. But in this instance, the people who are at the high up there's not a lot of them have actually got top 4s. They're riding on their XP. It's everyone below them, and people like myself, I was like 450th in the country, have now nabbed, and it's people like me, people like Dimitri, and the only 2 people I know that's got really low XP that just haven't got that grind, that are stealing those spots. They're the ones where the people that are on the I'm placed 120th or whatever are worried about, not the top players, because they were going to go there anyway.
Yeah.
So this seems to be a bit of a flip reverse on qualifications.
Thing is, the previous years we've also had online armories, so people have really grinded with their XP to go, right, I can hit online armories, I can hit armories locally.
Are they doing that now?
No, online armories seem to have dried up, so you really have to have a local scene to like boost your XP. You know, if you're in London, it's great. You've got 3 stores if you're able to get round, you know, and you can do 3 armories a week. But other places are struggling. Like Mikey from Manaleak, he's going to Bedford to pick up XP so he can qualify for nationals. So people are trying and people are grinding, but it's a lot harder to grind to get your XP now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank God I don't have to worry about that. But I understand everyone. It's a hard grind, but we'll see how this all pans out. This part is actually really exciting. That's why I love Road to Nationals.
Right. So, but what other Road to National dates are there? So the ones in blue are the draft Road to Nationals. So if you want to catch some draft, Badman Cafe will be streamed on Push to Point. Sean will be running the stream. Excelsior Comics, Fanboy 3 is going to be a draft. Patriot Games in Sheffield, which I am planning to attend just to record. So come and say hi. And if you make it into the top cut, we'll try and get you on camera. Red Dice Games in Edinburgh and Jester Games in Manchester. So Manchester is, it is the place to draft if you want to do that.
We'll say again, pretty wild that we've only got 3 drafts throughout the entire RTN, and 2 of them are on one weekend in one city.
I did see Jester put out a post wanting a judge for their event for Sunday. So if you're a judge and you can get to Jester, please contact them. Right, okay, so that is the dates for Road to Nationals coming up. So let's look at Card Market. So this is what we showed you last week. So we saw Codex of Frailty taking the top spot.
Okay, can I make a prediction?
Go on,
Codex of Frailty doesn't move. That's a safe bet.
Okay, Hamish, do you want to change your mind on that?
Yes.
Okay, right, good. It has changed.
Oh my God, Revel in Runeblood, what is going on?
Because Phantom Banshee's been previewed, and now people are going Runeblade mad, aren't they? And going, right, okay, how do I get my rune chance up? I know what I do. Revel in Runeblood. So
okay. And everyone, if you're listening, reduce the rune chant. Just saying.
Yeah. Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath. God, I didn't even know the title was that long. I just call it Ninth Blade. But
why? Why is everyone on?
People are going Runeblade bonkers. It's just like, It's Road to Nationals is halfway through.
I've got a lot of spare stuff. Maybe I'll keep an eye on this. Why is Give or Take number 3? What's going on there? Oh, I don't know. Who can predict?
It gives a bit of recurring, doesn't it? Maybe. So it's another remembrance.
Still on there though. Yeah. No surprise.
But it's Van Brace, considering sort of like, that main pick was for Oldham. Oldham's now gone. Didn't you spoil that?
I did spoil that one, yeah. So I'm going to be checking out the extended out versions. Come on, everyone, push it up.
So that is card market at the minute. That's what the Europeans are now doing. So if you want Ring Blade stuff, people are already hunting for them. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I was. Don't worry, the spoil season hasn't kicked off yet, and I already went and brought every expensive card for Bolton, and I'll pat myself on the back later.
Nice. Okay, so last but not least, huge thank you to everybody who gave me the results: Patrick McNamara, Lorenzo Patron, Coliosis, Shamir Sami, Darren Hazelden, Jack Fayer, Steve Thompson, and Hamish yourself. Well, that mate, you even made it onto this bit.
How did I do that? What did I do?
Because you told me what the top cut was, and you told me you won. So
who's in it? Me and Dimitri and 2 other dudes. No, I knew, but no. How did you? Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's all right. You get everywhere, mate. So
get around.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Good luck for round 3. Good luck in your drafts if you're going to Manchester. But remember, like, subscribe, join the Patreon, and we'll see you all next week.
Have fun.